Good afternoon, everyone. We are in Big Springs, Nebraska. Just got off of Interstate 80. We're calling it quits for tonight. We're gonna stop over here at this Flying J. We got ourselves a good fun load on us. We're heading to Minnesota, Minneapolis. That's where we're going. We got two different loads on us. We got one, the main load, which is some fencing material, and then we have a forklift on the very back end of the truck. And I'm gonna get a scale ticket. It's been a while since I've gotten a scale ticket and shown you how I do that. But I need to get the weight of this forklift because I'm pretty sure it's way over what they said it was gonna be. And I can get some more moolah for that. So we're gonna pull in here and I'm gonna show you how I do my scale. Because my drive axle can handle a different capacity compared to the lift axle, drop axle, whatever you want to say, I split weigh everything. So we're gonna split weigh that and I'll show you what I do. Basically, on your weigh bridge, you obviously have three main sections. You have your steers, you have your drives, and then you have your trailer axles. Basically, I put the drop axle in the drive axle bridge, and then the drive axle on the trailer axle bridge. So you can see those lines right there. And what I'll do is I'll look in the mirror, sort of see. That's a split, but hang on. This one might be a different length. I gotta move it up just a little bit more. Okay, real quick. Steer axle, lift axle, drive axle. They're all on their own bridge, so I'll get my own weight for it. So now we're gonna pull off, park, and we'll go get that, and I'll show you the load in detail after I get my ticket. Okay guys, so real quick, here's what we're dealing with. These are our weights. So this one's gonna be a fun one to fix. That forklift has got my rear end weighed down pretty good, and it's actually picking up on the front end. The tarped load, which you'll see here soon, weighs about 10,300 pounds. With the way that was sitting on the truck, I would guess that my steer axle was gonna be at 12,000, and the actual drive axle was, remembering where my air scale was, it was sitting at about 18,000. So I got about 420 pounds I could add in the lift axle, but I still got 800 over. Now I got the forks to the forklift sitting underneath the forklift, so I'm going to take those and move them to the very front of the bed. There's a little bit of a gap there. That'll move like 100 pounds. We're probably going to be overweight just a little bit, but tomorrow is Saturday and I'm hoping most of the scales will be closed, and if I do go through one, I'm hoping they won't bother me about 100 pounds or so overweight. I could also possibly put my lift axle overweight to about 11,000 pounds or 10,500, because for the most part they just look at your axle group rating. So if I could put that over, even though it's overweight on that axle, I have a feeling they'll let it slide. I've actually had to do that a couple times way in the past, before I had the front axle upgraded, or at least I had the tires for it to support the weight. And so there was a couple times I've gone through a scale where I know that lift axle was sitting at like 11,000 pounds and the drive axle right at 20. I've never had an issue. I think they look at it to be 34 or less, even though that's technically not what that can take. But let me show you what we got, and then I'll have to just move some stuff around. So this is what we got. come over here. So we got our forklift. This is barely hanging in there. So the forks to them are under there. I could probably move those up front. This is our decking. You see a little bit under here. I'll probably sit those forks up here, sort of lay them up against the front there. If I knew I was picking up the forklift, I would have had this stuff pushed all the way up front. The reason why I didn't do that is because it's hard to get the tarp to tuck in the front when it's all the way up against the headboard. So I'll move those forks. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't really back this up anymore because it's behind the rear axle. So all the weight is on this rear axle. Backing it up here, which I only have like an inch, wouldn't help at all. So we'll move the forks and we'll go from there. Maybe I'll find some stuff in the toolbox so I can move up front for a little bit to get some of that weight off. But that's what we'll do. How heavy are these? I'm kidding. But that's that. So there she be. Another thing that I noticed this morning, I think I know when it happened, but down here, you can see that's looking a little weird. I got a broken bolt. I need to fix that because you can see that doesn't hold it on anymore. All the other ones are fine. I've checked it. I think that happened when I was hauling that cassette roll to El Paso. I heard it pop and I just forgot to look to see if I could find it. And when I was doing pre-trip this morning, I noticed it. So I'm gonna have to get a new bolt for that. Check to see that the hole isn't wallowed out or anything, but get a new bolt, try to fix that, and that should be fine. The rest are fine. It's not really affecting anything. It's just allowing that part of the bed to flex a little bit, which isn't a bad thing, but I would like to know that it's being held in all of its spots. So anyways, I'm gonna move these forks and hopefully we can shift some of that weight around and not be too terribly overweight. So, all right, talk to you later. Well, I was gonna make a video, but tornado sirens going off for whatever reason. Early, right as I started the camera. And it's a beautiful day out. So I don't think there's supposed to be any tornadoes. One of the more annoying ones that I've heard too, usually they're a lower pitch, but I'm at the Sapp Brothers here in someplace in Nebraska. I don't even know where here is. York, Nebraska. We got some fuel, eating some lunch. I think the siren finally stopped. So I'm pretty much done with this. So I don't know how much you got yesterday when we were talking about the load and the issues, but it's been a fun one. Take a swig. Anyways, so we're technically overweight, kind of. You remember our scale ticket? We're showing 20,800 pounds on our drive axle right now. I have moved the forks to the forklift up to the front of the truck. That moved maybe 100 pounds, but I'll show you the problem. So they're up here now. Let me move over here where there's a little less wind, I'm hoping. Hopefully the truck will block some. So yeah, I moved the forklift, or the forks up here. But our forklift is still giving us some weight issues. We're nice and tight though. So we're nice and tight, but let me show you what's going on. That tarp section is 10,300 pounds. That forklift I got weighed is about 9,600 pounds. That means 9,600 pounds are sitting behind my axle, and this 10,000's up here. Well, it's acting like a big seesaw, even though there's more weight up front. Because it's overloading the rear end, I have to use my lift axle. The lift axle is picking up this part of the truck, not that side. So although it's helping, it's not helping by much, and it's actually making my front end lighter. Because right now we're only weighing like 8,400 pounds on the front end, fully loaded, and I weigh more than that in the front empty. I weigh about 9,000 pounds up front when empty. Before that forklift, I weighed probably 12,000 pounds up front. So that forklift and this lift axle has taken off like 4,000 pounds off of the front of this truck. And it's moved it all towards the rear, essentially. So it's making it really hard to get this to be legal. But I've actually gone through the Nebraska weigh station, and I went through there. My drive axle was showing about, man, this wind, I'm trying to hide from the wind. My drive axle was showing that I was at about 19,000 pounds, but my lift axle, with the way it is, I don't know why it does it, but it will slowly build pressure as you drive. So even if you set it at, 10,000 pounds, in about 30 miles, it might be reading 12,000. So I have to flip the switch to bleed some of that air off. And the scale came up on me and I didn't even realize it. And I rolled in there and I was showing like 11,500 pounds on the drop axle. So I was a little worried, but got in there, sat on the scale, and the moment I stopped, they gave me the green light. I was like, okay. And that's not the first time that's happened. I've mentioned it before where people don't seem to know what the weight limit of that axle is. So I guess they just look to see if it's under 34, and with the way it's sitting at about 30,000 pounds between those two axles. And this wind. So the truck's filthy. One of these days I need to get it washed again. It's covered in bugs, road dirt, and everything else, but it's filthy. Anyways, let's see. Right now, here's what we're looking at. So because I'm parked and nothing's technically aired, I'm sitting just shy of 21,000 on the drive axle and only just over 9,000 pounds on the lift axle. So once I get moving, that'll sort itself out, but that's kind of what I'm dealing with. I did get more money for the load, so that's good. And I think we're gonna be all right. I was looking at Trucker Path to see what the weigh stations were looking like. Right now, this entire day so far, that one weigh station I went through at Nebraska, over, where was that? It's by the airport. I can't remember. That was the only one that I've seen that's open. All the ones, like the last one that will be coming up to at the end of Nebraska, just before Iowa, that one's been reading closed all day. All the Iowa scales have been reading closed all day. And then I just have one scale to deal with once I get into Minnesota. And as far as I could tell, that one will be closed for today, but it'll probably be open Monday morning. So my goal is to get past that by the end of the day today, which is totally doable. We topped off on fuel. I finished out my 30. We're gonna get a roll on here soon. We'll probably be rolling into there. We still got like a 6-hour drive. So, okay, yeah, so I just looked at it. The quick trips that we're going to, quick trip is in Medford, Minnesota. which is actually where my next pickup is going to be once I get done on Monday. That's it. I'll keep that for another video, but I am booked to pick up out of there on Monday. The scale is before that out in Clarks Grove, Minnesota. And right now it's showing that it's being monitored, so it's not open, but someone's sitting there. So, here, I'll show you real quick. That's what that's showing. That yellow there is showing that's monitored. The southbound scale's closed. So, by the time I get there, I'm sure they'll be closed. Yeah, it's rarely open. It'll be closed by the time I get there. So, I'm not too worried. I should be able to make it there. We'll park at the Quick Trip in Medford, take our 34. And then we'll get up on Monday and do it all over again. So, alright, that's it. I'll talk to you guys here later.